So recently I heard that the Dodgers were not going to pick up the contract of Cody Bellinger. And this immediately triggered a red flag to me. So today I'm going to share with you some of the concerns that I have about the dangers of collecting modern day ball players. You ready? Then let's do it. Hello and welcome, rookie card collectors. Victor, the rookie card specialist here. Well, before we begin anything, I want to give a shout out to Brad Claus. Brad Claus visited me this week, and that is the YouTuber Brad8671. He has been making his rounds like Santa Claus, and apparently I was on the I was not on the naughty list. So Brad Claus sent me this beautiful 2021 5-star autograph of Chicago Cub legend Ryan Sandberg, serial number 35 of 50. Just a beautiful card. Was rather surprised when I seen it in the mail. And man, Brad, thank you, sir. You guys check out Brad. He's an old timer. He's been around doing it a while, and really appreciate the gift. It's a beautiful card. I did go to the Chicago Sports Spectacular this actually yesterday, and I had a good time. I wish I would have gone with a lot more money than what I did, but I spent a lot a couple of weeks ago at Shipshawana, so I didn't have the you know how it is. But I did pick up some stuff. I did pick up a lot of things, items that I'm going to be sharing with you guys in a separate video. But I did pick up some cards that I'll show you guys here at the end of this video. But overall, listen, I just, I hear so much about the market dip and all of that. I went to this show, and the show was, can I tell you, the hobby is very healthy, at least from my experience of what I noticed this weekend. There was a very good crowd there Saturday morning. Lots of people, lots of transactions going on. I witnessed a deal right next to me going down as I was flipping through some boxes. Gentlemen, the dealer sold a 1956 Mickey Mantle, and I couldn't tell what grade it was because I really couldn't see it, but I heard the whole deal go down, and the guy was asking 7,000 for it, and the guy offered 6,500 cash, and the dealer kind of took a long pause and was kind of like thinking it over in his head. You can just see the gears turning, and he was like, "Man, I really wanted to get $7,000 out of this card. I do appreciate you having cash." And he just shoots out, "How about 6,700?" And the buyer was just like, "Yeah, that's cool, man. I would have given you 7. I just have to, yeah, you got to negotiate these things." And the guy goes on to just count out a nice, healthy stack of $100 bills. So that was encouraging. People were buying. There was a ton of people there. The memorabilia market over here in Chicago, I tell you, I've never gotten into it, but man, are there just the lines for these autographs. I don't know who was signing autographs this weekend, but it had to be some really good names because the lines were just tremendous for that kind of stuff. But overall, a lot of sales of cards. It was just a really good, healthy vibe, in my opinion. Now, a lot of that I think is just our personality type. If you're kind of somebody who has like an eagle eye and the whole, if you're a glass half empty guy, you're going to think that it wasn't all that good and the sky is falling. If you're a guy who is a glass half full type of guy personality, then it's all good, and you don't see One views things in a negative light while another views things in a positive light. Although they both have strengths, both sides can also have flaws in their evaluations. So to me, a lot of it is, be careful who you listen to. A lot of it is personality. A lot of it is opinion. But taking an unbiased view of the atmosphere and the vibe, hobby's very healthy. With that said, I did, catch. I haven't been able to watch a lot of YouTube content this week, and it's kind of rare for me because I usually consume a lot of it. But I've been, it's that time of year where we're getting, the house decorated for Christmas, and I'm pulling bins out of the basement and bringing them up and decorating and all that sort of thing. And we're going to be hosting Thanksgiving here this week, so I've got, we're kind of getting the house ready for that and making plans and grocery shopping and all that sort of thing. So I haven't really paid much attention to what was going on, but I did catch, a little bit of the MLB network this week with it's been great because, during dinner, we're watching the awards, and I just think congratulations to Paul Goldschmidt and Aaron Judge, MVPs, which in my opinion, well deserved. I love it when they get it right. It kind of sucks when they get it wrong, or when you got a couple of players who both had such amazing seasons, but only one person can actually win. That kind of sucks. But I think this year it was pretty clear cut in my opinion, and I think the right people won, and I just love it when that happens. And even the managers of the year, I was very, very pleased with. It was Buck Showalter, and who was the guy for the AL? I forget who it was now, but I was very happy with that. And just overall, just love this time of year. I kind of like do the World Series. I get into the awards, and then during this week, Thanksgiving week, is when I actually flip the switch for football, and I start paying close attention to football. Um, with that said, I wanted to get into, because I got some news. I was watching MLB Network, and I noticed that Cody Bellinger was, I forget the term they used, but the Dodgers didn't re-sign him is what it comes down to. And I was pretty shocked as I heard the news, and I just started playing all these scenarios in my head, and I heard some commentary about his play the last couple of years, and I just wanted to share some of my thoughts. And this is the kind of stuff that really concerns me about collecting modern day guys. And it's just, Cody Bellinger was really, and as far as the hobby's concerned, he come in and he was really on top of the world. I mean, this guy come in 2017, and it was like awe-inspiring. And really, we knew of Cody Bellinger in the 2002 World Series, the Little League World Series. He was actual. You saw it back then that this kid's going to be something special, something tremendous, as he hit a home run to win the Little League World Series back in 2002, and just all the hype as we saw this kid grow up, and evaluations and scouting reports and all this type of thing. And then he come out 2017, his rookie season, and he just met everybody's expectations. As a matter of fact, I wanted to show you a couple of things. Let's look at his career so far. Hold on one second. Okay, so I wanted to share with you Cody Bellinger inside of Baseball Reference, a fabulous website. Everybody knows it. If you don't know about it, check out Baseball Reference. Absolutely fantastic website for learning and punching up information about ball players. But anyways, we see here, man, Cody Bellinger was no slouch. I mean, he come into the league. We see here his accolades. He came in 2017, and he's already won an MVP. He was Rookie of the Year. He's a two-time All-Star, a 2020 World Series champion. He's won a Gold Glove, a Silver Slugger, and the National League Championship Series. He was MVP in that. So this guy, as far as the hobby is concerned, the things that this guy has accomplished right out of the gate are just phenomenal, right? You would have thought right after the 2020 season, this guy, he's on the road to the Hall. And if he continues this pace, man, is he going to have one heck of a career and one heck of a hobby. He's in LA, which is a pretty strong market, and just has everything going for him. I mean, the world is just at this man's fingertips, and with good looks to boot, right? Good looks, a big contract, accolades through the roof. I mean, this guy has got it together. But then we continue as we look through the numbers and we start to see the bigger picture of what's going on here. Okay, 2017, like we mentioned, All Star MVP. He came in ninth place that year, but he did win Rookie of the Year. 2018, the following season, he didn't win any accolades. His numbers dipped a little bit, at least in the home run category, we see. But everything else seemed to be on par and actually improved a little bit. Like we see his hits here, 145 hits as opposed to 128. So that's pretty good. He played a full season. 2019, I mean, this is the peak of his career right now. This guy had an absolutely fantastic 2019, as we see here. He was MVP. He was an all-star game, a gold glover, a silver slugger. Oh my goodness. This guy was on fire in 2019. And then we look at 2020, and it's like, wow, what the heck happened? 56 games. Well, he ended up getting injured. And this has been the thing that I have always noticed with Bellinger, and that has always concerned me since the very beginning when he came in 2017. As I was observing his play, I observed just the force of his swing. To me, it seemed like his upper body just had so much torque. And sure enough, in 2020, he ended up hurting his back. And apparently his back had been an issue in the past. And I can totally see and understand why he would have back issues, because of the way how violent his swing is, and the torque of his upper body compared to his lower body. And I was years ago, I saw the writing on the wall just by the nature of his swing. And so that's how come I always, I never bought too much Cody Bellinger at all for those reasons. And so looking back then, we see he was injured, right? Missed most of the season in 2020. We see 2021, he only played in 95 games because back injuries again. So, I mean, we start to see a decline here in the number of games played, and obviously his performance is also going to take a hit. And then 2022 season came, and this really, I mean, he played almost an entire season, most of the season. He has 504 at bats in 2022, and the numbers are they're just not there. Um, Look at the strikeouts. We go from 150 strikeouts, and we batting average 210 for the season. Just not very good. Not what we're seeing with Cody Bellinger. And because of this poor performance in 2022, Dodgers decided that we need to part ways with Cody Bellinger. And to me, that was just a shock. But it really just shows baseball, and just there's no dedication, no devotion to players or organizations. It's all business. And they what seemed to be their all-star player, now 3 years later, has been let go. And so that's the part that really shocked me. And so Cody Bellinger's on the market. Rumor going around that he might Chicago Cubs might give him an offer. So we'll see what happens there. But here's the thing. It might be just, it could be the best thing that could happen to him, right? It could be maybe a change of scenery is what was needed. And maybe he just needs to part ways with the Dodgers himself, and maybe get a fresh start in a new city, and maybe that might help him get whatever kind of slump he's in. Maybe that'll help him just hit the reset button. Or maybe he's playing injured and we don't even know it. And he's just forcing himself to play through the pain, and he's dealing with that and all the demons that come along with that. So we don't really know. And it's one of them things where we'll have to see, but it's a gamble right now, to me, in my opinion, to pick up anything of Cody Bellinger. It's going to be dirt cheap, right? So it's going to, a matter of fact, let's look at his card prices real quick. Hold on. I have been using lately. I have been using cardhedge.com. If you have not checked out Card Hedge, give them a try. I am learning all about it. I'm getting acclimated as I got my man Omar and JD over there at Card Hedge really showing me some things with Card Hedge, and really putting out great video content on how to use it. And I'm just really doing it, giving Card Hedge a fair chance and checking them out. I've always been a big vintage card prices guy, user. Vintage card prices does not give you raw grades, and that's one thing that I'm in need of, because I'm now have my eBay store. So it's good for me to know. I do need to know raw card prices at times. And the other thing about VCP is they say that, they say that they offer values and your price guides on BGS and SGC, but they really don't. They basically only deal with PSA, unless you're dealing with like pre-war, like T206 stuff, then they'll go ahead and give you SGC pricing. But everything else, they do not use SGC pricing. I do like Card Hedge here. They do give you, they do show you BGS, PSA, and the like. So that is a plus for them. I'm trying to get all of this in here. So let's look at 2017. I was looking at the prices earlier, and let's look at some of these. So here we have the Topps base card paper, right? So let's view the card, and we're going to look at a few things. And we're looking at it now here in a PSA 10. We see current price of $25, and it's a 27% dip. And if we scan that out to a year ago, we really see a pretty drastic dip in his cards, right? So that his cards have been dipping for a little bit over a year now, and that's concerning, right? Especially with all the promise he had, especially with all the big cards that he had. But let's take a look at another one. Let's look at the Topps Chrome. That's always a popular, right? I'm going to zoom out to a year. And this one has lost, in a PSA 10, has lost 60% of the value. And that's a pretty big dip. And if you wanted to pick up Cody Bellinger right now, if you believe in him and that he's going to maybe rebound, then that's fabulous. Then you can do that and start picking him up now, because his stuff is going to be on the cheap. But this is where the risk starts turning into gambling, in my opinion. Okay, because here's the thing with Cody that I think is he is basically, this is like a do or die year for him. And we see here like an 81% dip in value in the last year. I mean, it's just, these cards are just taking a downward trajectory. This beautiful PSA 10 last week sold for $16. Wow. So anyways, and that's my point in all of this is, if you want to take a gamble on Cody Bellinger right now, you can. Now would be the time to pick him up. But the thing is with Cody, no matter where he ends up, what team he ends up, it's a do or die season for him. So if he makes it right and he has a great season or a good season, right, his prices are going to rebound a little bit, which is great and wonderful for those who picked up on his stuff. But if he doesn't, if he gets traded and continues to struggle at the plate, or he ends up getting another injury and he's out for 2/3 of the season, his cards are going to basically, they're just going to tank. I mean, this is going to be like a big year for Cody Bellinger, not only his career, but his cards in the hobby. And that's really, and even if there's always going to be this lingering doubt in the back of people's mind, at least in my mind, is even if he does have a good season, is he's still swinging the bat the same way he has with that violent upper body torque. How long's that back going to end up holding up? And he's a tall, lanky kid, and just what what is his chances of getting injured again? How I think they're pretty high, and so one of them things that we should all take into consideration if Cody Bellinger is a guy that we're going to pursue. Personally, this is how come I don't deal with these the modern players, because there's so much that is against them, so much that can go wrong, and that's how come I really, when I go to add a rookie player into my collection, to me, when I see 5 or 6 years of continual uh, performance, those are the guys I really enjoy. And the guys that I really pursue are those guys that are kind of under the radar, that are maybe going into year number 8 and year number 9, and their numbers look fantastic. And they just have a track record of being consistent. And there's those players that nobody really pays attention to, that are really just forgotten because they're slow and steady, right? I know Ray from Philly did a great video with, Eugenio Suarez, I think is his name. Came up in 2014, but he's been slow and steady. Just, he has like 224 home runs. Um, and he's got more home runs than Aaron Judge, and him and Aaron Judge are the same age. But you don't hear of this kid. Who? It's like, who? Yeah, but look at his numbers. Since 2014, he's just been slow and steady. 20 home runs, 30 home runs, and just year after year, putting up great numbers, flying under the radar, on the track to the Hall of Fame. Those are the guys that we should really be paying attention to, and not so much the Hall of Famers, right? Now's not the time to be buying Albert Pujols. Now's not the time to maybe not be buying Cody Bellinger either. So it's one of them things where you have one extreme to the other. But I think the safest play, the best bang for our buck, is going to be them slow and steady guys that steadily put up numbers, and those are the guys that I like to focus on, anyways. And those are guys that are headed to the Hall of Fame that nobody even talks about. And eventually it's going to happen. And now when they finally do pop, right? When the hobby finally realizes, holy cow, Eugenio Suarez, this guy is going to be a Hall of Famer. And when his cards pop 4 or 5 years from now, and everybody's going crazy looking for his cards because he's having such a fantastic career. Well, you already have your stash for your collection, or to flip or invest, whatever it is that you like to do. Uh, but you're paying on the low end because of the slow and steady, consistent play, instead of coming out of the gate like gangbusters, right? And it happened to Chris Bryant too. They just win right out of the gate, and they win all these awards, and their card values shoot up way high, right? They hit the ceiling immediately. They have nowhere else to go. They've hit the ceiling. In year number 2, they've hit the ceiling. They have nowhere else to go but down. And so I like these guys, right? The slow and steady. And that's how you got to play this thing, I think, especially in baseball. It might be different for other sports. I get that. But in baseball, slow and steady wins the race. My fears or concerns with prospects, that's how come I don't play in that arena. And so with that said, let me flip this camera around, show you guys what I've picked up. I picked up this 4-card lot from this guy. And it's just very cool 90s inserts that I remember trying to pull these from packs were extremely difficult. I probably should have looked up the pack odds, but who remembers 96 Metal Universe Motherlode? Picked up this very nice. He had them like in a bargain box for a slab bargain box, but I couldn't. Man, I remember these are hard to pull. These are hard to pull. Frank Thomas, Motherlode insert. At least I think there are. I don't know. I should have looked them up, but I didn't. Barry Bonds. And I also picked up this very cool 1997 Fleer Bleacher Blaster. Barry Bonds. Die cut. What a cool card that is. Do not see this card very often. I picked up this Shohei Ohtani. Let me take that out of there. I picked this one up. It's the Bowman Platinum in a PSA 9. I picked it up because I remember doing my article for Shohei, and I thought this was the variant. Okay. But it isn't. There is a variant to this one, but it's of him holding like a batting bag. And I got the variants mixed up. And I didn't pay very much for this one at all. I think it was like $20. But I picked it up thinking that it was the variant. It was not the variant, but that's okay anyways, because it is a true rookie card of Shohei Ohtani in a PSA 9 for $20. It's like, okay. How many more you got? If you got Shohei's 9s for $20, I'll pick those up all day long. Thank you very much. And the last card that I picked up that I really, really, really liked is, let me take it out of the baggie. It's giving me a hard time. We'll just leave it. It is this 1992-93 Panini sticker of Shaquille O'Neal. Now, this is a rookie year card, right? Shaq's rookie was 92-93, and this is a Panini sticker. I consider this one to be a rookie year card. But I love, or a rookie year sticker, I guess you can say. But really enjoyed having this. I don't collect Shaq. I have all his rookie cards in my set registry for my set registry run. So I have all of his cards. And it's a set registry that I'm very proud of. It took me a long time to put it together. But I just really enjoyed Shaq and his personality and his shenanigans. He was just a really fun basketball player to watch. And I really even like he's just a real big role model, a real big teddy bear. And I like Shaq very much. Here's the back of that card. Pretty cool. And I don't really see this very often, and decided to pick it up. Well, guys, that's going to be it. Those are my pickups. I appreciate you guys tuning in and just listening to my thoughts on the whole Cody Bellinger thing. Let me know what you think. What are your thoughts on some of this stuff and some of the prospect players? High risk, high reward, but also, a lot of potential for upside. But man, the downside potential is also very high. And you just have to be careful. Got to be smart. Do your homework, collect whatever you want, but be smart about it. Until next time, I'll catch you on the next one.